I know many of you followed the story of Achim Bailey, the Springfield man who went missing in January after a night out. Well, 2 months after he was first reported missing, his body was found in the Connecticut River. There was no trauma to his body, no foul play suspected. His disappearance is just one of many men around the country who go missing after leaving a bar and later found in a body of water. Western Mass News reporter James Villalobos tonight looks into the responsibility of bar owners when it comes to the safety of their patrons while inside and then after they leave a bar.
Quinn McCrae is the owner of Liquid Solutions, a bar resource in Western Mass that works with servers about the effects of alcohol and alcohol liability. He tells Western Mass News that he followed the coverage of what happened to Achim Bailey.
Unfortunately, I think this case is going to be a wake-up call where they're going to have to put some policies and protocols in place to prevent this from ever happening again.
McCrae says that oftentimes bars find themselves in an ethical dilemma of having to operate as a business that makes money while also making sure that patrons are safe.
The legal limit is .08, where any responsible bar or establishment wants to stop someone before they hit the level of intoxication.
Legally, he says there is no limit on how much someone can spend at a bar. That's why servers are responsible for looking at signs of intoxication, such as stumbling, swaying, loss of coordination, and slowed reaction.
Do I want to serve this person that could potentially be close to that line? And I've often erred on the side of caution because I don't want to find out that I made a bad decision that left somebody else, either hurt or worse.
It's important for servers not to ignore the signs, otherwise
the bar could be held liable for it. They need to make sure that they are not a danger to themselves or others when they leave. Normally we think of that as drunk driving, but it could be in anything. You could get into a fight outside the place, or you could fall down. Anything that happens to you after that could fall back upon the bar.
If something does happen, McCrae says that the injured party can go back and sue the bar, and the bar could be held civilly liable in Massachusetts. Over at Nathan Bill's in Springfield, Christian Lead serves as their head of security and has 20 years of bar security experience.
Ultimately, we invite people to come here. And our one goal is to make sure that they get home safely or to where they're going.
He tells Western Mass News that they followed cases of men disappearing after visiting bars in Boston, and they made changes accordingly. But when they heard about what happened to Achim, they began to crack down even more.
This was here. This was in town. This was someone that went to school in town, someone that was friends, someone that came in here on a regular basis. It really hit home.
Although not legally required, Lead says they do the best practice of paying for the transportation of their patrons that consume too much alcohol.
We generally don't let people leave without knowing how they're getting home. In that situation, if we feel they're too intoxicated or if we're kicking them out, we'll either find who they came with or we'll find them right home.
When it comes to cameras being in bars, are they required? McCrae says not at all, but it's just another best practice that would help a bar should they go to court. At the end of the night, Lead says a human life is more important than their bottom line.
At some point, you have to put your foot down. The last thing we're going to let someone do is walk away from here drunk.
James Villalobos, Western Mass News.